Hi, this is d.stroir from San Diego Derby Dolls, and I'm with Lemon Drop of San Diego Derby Dolls. And today we're going to break down some backwards skills. We're kind of going under the assumption that you already know how to backwards skate with this stuff. So if you need to work on backwards skating, work on that first, because this is a little bit more advanced. So make sure you're good at your backwards first. Okay, so in this case, Lemon's a jammer, and I'm a blocker. Let's say I'm a pivot. I'm way out at the front of the pack, so I've got plenty of room to play with. I see her coming behind me, and I want to give her the power of 2 arms instead of 1, so I'm going to turn around, and that's assuming you already know your transitions, so know that. I'm going to turn around and skate backwards. We're both going to stick our asses out slightly, like you're going to do a rowboat kind of a thing. We're going to use that propulsion. I'm going to pull towards me, she's going to pull towards her, and I'm going to take her to the inside or the outside, depending on where on the track we are. Obviously, if we're on the inside of the turn, she wants the inside, so we'll take it there. But if we're on the outside, then she wants the outside if we're in the straightaways. So for this particular one, she'll take the inside. So we both squat a little bit. I pull towards me, she pulls towards her, and she gets to keep going. Now if I'm skating backwards and I've got a really good stance on me, it's not going to pull me forward because I've got my propulsion of going backwards. Okay, so now we're going to put it into motion on the track. I'm not going to reach out for her. I'm going to keep my hands close enough to me to where if I can't go like this and bring her in, she's still too far away. You don't want to bend over and do this because then you could fall forward. Your upper body will make you top heavy and you hit the floor. So make them come to you. And as soon as they're in there and you can feel their hands, that's when you just do this, right into you. You could do the same thing on the bank track too. You just have to, just the same thing. Make sure you're not reaching out too far for someone else. Just make sure that they come to you. Okay, so I don't want you to be intimidated by the fact that you're on a bank track, which is an inclined surface. The first time around, just try the skill just like you did on the flat track, just like you always do. But there's going to be a slight difference in what edges you're using to hold your weight, but really don't trip on it. Just try it, and it'll probably work the first time. So another thing you can do with your backwards skating is backwards blocking. Again, initially when you're practicing this, you want to make sure you have plenty of room for it. So maybe be the pivot out in front or be the number 4 way in back. But either way, you don't want to do it right in the middle of a crowded pack because you're just going to cause a pileup. So you want to give yourself some space. Okay, so if Lemon Drop's offending me and I want to block her, what I'm going to do is I'm going to block her like this with my hips, and I'm going to try to lean her out and push her away, or I can hit her with my arms like that. And you can do the same thing if she's backwards. If she turns around, the rules of engagement haven't changed. I've still got my legal hitting zones, and she's still got her legal target zones. I can still aim for this over here. I can aim for this right here. Likewise, she can hit me that way. If I'm the one skating backwards, she doesn't have to be a deer in the headlights. She can still hit me too. Just make sure it's with the legal blocking zones. So in skating, it looks a little something like this. So I can hit her that way, I can hit her with my hips, which I highly recommend, because that's your strongest zone, you know what I mean? Or I could hit her with the upper body. Or I could use it just to sort of take her out of the picture. Let's say Lemon, which is true in our case, is like the strongest blocker in the pack. I want to pick her off and take her somewhere else. If I'm skating backwards, I've got that advantage of the fact that she's kind of not really sure what to do with me. It's sort of an element of surprise, and I can sort of guide her in the direction that I want rather than where my jammer is. Now, of course, when you get right to the line, you gotta let go. So that's one tricky thing about being backwards, is seeing everything at the same time. The cool thing about it is I know exactly where she is when I'm trying to hit her. I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes you'll be going to hit somebody. You're not really looking at them, you're just sort of hoping for the best. If you're backwards, I mean, there's no denying, you know exactly where she is. But the tricky thing about it is watching the line. Let go at the line, and don't cut on the inside. That's my bad one. Okay, so let's do it on the bank track. Okay, and then backwards blocking, again, make sure you got a little bit of space in the beginning, in practice even, so you're not causing a big old cluster. Can I say cluster? So on the bike track, if you take somebody into the rail, you don't have to worry as much about when to let go, because you don't really need to let go unless you're starting to be stopped completely. You can't just stop there and hold her, but you can take her right into the rail if you want. And that's why the backwards walking is good for that. That's it for this one. Check out the one about leg whips after this.